I'm Sharon. Welcome to my Music Theory tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Moving on to page 47 of the Grade 1 Discovering Music Theory, we'll look at exercise 1, which will test what we discussed in the last section. And so I suggest that you perhaps don't now look back, but try this and just test yourself. It's always better to really force your mind to really dig deep for the answers. Always answer in pencil, and it doesn't matter if you go wrong, you will learn more thoroughly by your mistakes. But instead of just copying over and peeping back, which is quite a passive way of learning, if you dig deep and try and really test yourself, you will really help yourself to remember these musical terms. So have a go of this, and it doesn't matter if it all goes terribly wrong, but just have a go and try and remember what these answers are. If I just say as a bit of a clue, remember the pianoforte means the soft loud instrument, and then we move out in the degrees from that. So have a go, and I'm hoping that you've been brave and had a crack at this, and so let's try this together now. So the Italian word for very loud, well, we know loud is forte, and then we put issimo to add that extra to it, that very element. So fortissimo is the loud, and then the very is shown, because forte is loud, and then fortissimo is the very loud. So there we go, fortissimo. Now we know that piano means quiet. Remember the pianoforte, the soft loud, the quiet loud. And then mezzo is middle or half, or we would say moderately. So moderately quiet is our answer there. P is our kind of baseline for quiet, piano. Now diminuendo is to do with gradually changing the tone. And if you remember the dim for diminuendo, we can see it's diminishing, it's gradually getting quieter. That root word for diminishing does help us there. Now MF stands for mezzo forte. We know the F is the loud and the M is the mezzo. And let's just get every drop of revision out of this. We know that forte is loud, mezzo is moderately, so that would mean moderately loud. And then here we have the gradually getting louder. This is the symbol that shows that we're gradually getting louder. And the word for that, well, let's look at it. It's not loud, because that's just suddenly just loud. It's not diminishing away, it's the crescendo here. So we can get there by degrees if you're not sure straight away. So we've dealt with volume and dynamics, but now we're going to look at tempo, because we need a composer to tell us how fast he wants a piece or she wants a piece to be played. Because it's all well and good keeping so many beats per bar in strict time, but what is the general pulse? Because if we've got a slow pulse or a quick pulse, it will change the mood of the music. And again, we've got a bit of revision to do. But once again, some of these words, these Italian words, do have kind of roots that we've taken our English words from that will help us. And so let's start, and those that are most easy. So moderato, we can see that that is easily remembered as a moderate speed, just a moderate tempo, moderate pace. So the root word there, moderato, moderate, is easily sorted, so that's fine. Now, accelerando, again, is nice and easy to remember because we can see the root word. We're accelerating. So if we're accelerating, we're getting quicker bit by bit, kind of as we put our foot down, as it were. And then here we have another one that can help us, retardando. Retard, or rit for short. And again, the root word, we can see we are retarding the speed. It's kind of, we're putting the brakes on, we are retarding, we're holding it back. So gradually getting slower. That will help us as well. And then we can kind of just link these two together and we can be sure that we can remember that one. And so rallentando is just another way of saying the same thing, gradually getting slower. So if we just group those in our mind, we're okay. Now, a tempo, time, that's easy. Tempus fugit, time flies. Tempo, there's our root word. Time, and we're in time. So basically, when we've got faster or slower, we're now going back in time again. So we're going back to the original, as it were. So I think that one is quite memorable, actually. So we're getting through these quite quickly. And now, I'm not sure how helpful this will be, but I always remember allegro as quick because kind of a vintage car, there used to be an allegro car, and I just think cars go quick. I can't think, was it a Ford? So just, random. I think sometimes when you're revising all of these words that can seem a little bit alien, if you find a way of just making a bizarre, memorable link, you easily remember them that way. And so allegro is quick. Now this etto is kind of qualifying that. It's quick, but it's etto quick, which is only fairly quick. So we're qualifying that by sort of knocking the edge off the tempo, as it were. Now, andante, I think we'll just have to do a bit of revision here. Andante, it literally means at a walking pace. It's a medium speed. So you might just need to spend a moment revising that, unless you can find a way that helps you to just think of that. And adagio, in my head, I just think that looks like a slow word. It sounds slow, adagio. It just makes sense to me, that's slow. And so find ways to make it memorable, whatever helps you, and a little bit of revision is required. However, just a little bit of a tip. I'm just going to grab a bit of paper here. There is a word game that you can play if you can find a willing chum to help you. And it's a game where if they write a word, for example, I shall choose one now. What word shall I choose? And basically you choose the letters and you've only got so many lives, as it were, and you build up a picture. It's not very PC, but they used to call it hangman, and you'd build up a picture and sort of give him a hat and so on as you lose lives, as it were. And so you choose a letter, so you'd say perhaps I'll choose an A. So in my word, those are A's. Then you'd think, well, I'll choose an E. Well, there is no E, so I'll pop that there and we'll start losing lives. So there you go, we'll lose a head. If it gets really desperate, you can just keep losing, like adding fingernails or laces, however generous you want to be, really. And perhaps your friend could give you clues and say, if you start getting really stuck, and they'll give you a bit of a clue what the meaning could be, and that will help you choose. So I'll have an I now. I'll go through the vowels. So there's an I. So we're getting through this one. Now we'll have an O. There's an O. And hopefully you can see now what that word is becoming, so I don't think we'll lose any more lives. And if you weren't quite there, I'd say, well, actually it means slow. And you think, oh yes, adagio, I've got that. So use these things to help you to revise. You could even colour code them. And so anything to do with fast, you could colour red and put the definitions. Anything to do with slow, you could colour blue, or whatever makes sense to you. anything that's loud or anything quiet, just colour code them. And so you would recognise that rallentando and ritardando are the same meaning because you'd colour those both the same. And you could perhaps colour code accelerando, allegro, I don't know, black, whatever makes sense to you. And then you could think, well, moderato and allegro might belong together, or do you think allegretto and allegro belong together? I think they belong together, actually. However, you group them to make whatever seems best sense to you, anything just to do a little bit of revision to get these safely and securely understood. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.